The engine is starting up.
For launch. GC. Go. Guidance. Go. Fido. Go. Prop. Go. GNC. Go. Max. Go. Eagle. Go. Ecom.
Go. Pending final steps. The cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Good evening, travelers and those alike. Welcome to the Orion Effect. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Tonight's show is brought to you by Ghost of Stanton, Virginia, GOS. Check them out. Seasons all year long. The most amazing haunted travels you may experience that's actually not part of the paranormal. How do I explain that? It's not your normal paranormal experience when you go to GOS. They give you everything, history, lore, thought, process, but not with all the paranormal glitz, okay? I'm just letting you know that's a place. If you come to the Shenandoah Valley, you want to go to Stanton, Virginia, sign yourself up. It's only $10.
I mean, that's a
It might have
steal.
gone up. It's a steal for any
Yeah.
tour, right? You gotta love it. So definitely check it out. Oh, hello. We have one traveler showing hello, and there's several watching. Miss Emily,
Emily.
Yeah.
Hello.
hello and welcome. Tonight's show is a two-part, so the second part of two of a certain conspiracy, if you will. We're working on the conspiracies of modern times, and we're doing it in chronological order. Now, certain times we may fall back to other dates because those dates give a foundation to whatever that conspiracy may be at that time. Okay, so just letting y'all know we don't want to confuse you, but confuse anybody. So, but with that being said, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ed the Hitman.
And I am Rhonda Harris.
Rhonda is in the
I am.
Look at you. Look at you. How is you? I tell you what, it's been a quick 2 weekends and week, and it's got one more week to go. I am officially in.
So what is that, a Roanokean?
Yes, I am now in a Roanokean, Richmond.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go. That's exciting. That's been a long time coming.
Too long. Too long. Too long. Yes, too long.
No, but everything happens as it's supposed to. So it might have taken a while, but now is the right timing.
I agree. Are you shuffling cards?
No, I'm
over
not.
there?
I'm throwing my popcorn wrapper.
Oh, okay. Sound like you were shuffling cards.
I
I'm
was
like,
holding it up and throwing it away. I was chowing down on some popcorn before we hit the show.
hey, that's okay. Hey, that is perfectly okay. Have you been kind of relaxing this week?
Gosh.
Or what have you been doing?
I don't know. And all I can equate it to is whatever this full moon energy is, because it's come out of nowhere. But I've been very much in a get things done kind of space. So I was up at like 6 this morning and taking loads of stuff to the dump, and then did some shopping. I mean, I did all of this and I was home by like 9. But yeah,
Very nice.
It's been with the summer, feeling the summer wind down, which I hate. By the way, hate it.
We still got 2 more months, people.
But it's
so don't,
still like,
don't fail.
kids are back to school. Like, people are getting back in normal routines, I guess. And it's just like, and you feel the wind down starting, and people are kind of going back to norm. It's even getting dark a little bit earlier. So I've been just trying to like take advantage of every morning, every evening, and be outside as much as I can and soak it all up before I can't do it anymore. And then, but whatever reason, it's been a very much of like, let's get stuff done.
Get it done. That's the energy of right now.
Get it done.
I mean, we know that's something. Yes, we know something big. Got to be transition energy-wise, frequency-wise, whatever. But we also know this energy right now is exactly what she is saying. It is get it done. There are things and explanations need to be done as things you need to do.
Yeah. It's almost like a preparation for sure, because it's like things that I have put off for a while. Now I'm like, oh, it's time to get this done. Got it, Ryan Jones.
And Robert Odell. I see him sneaking in there. Hello. And that is right. Let us know. You right after this show, an hour later, you got to check out the summertime mix-a-lot that we got for 2025.
That's right. You've got like an hour. Get your snacks on, refill your drink, do all that stuff.
This was all her this time. This was her.
Well,
and what?
Like me and Ryan combined.
Well, okay, there you go. Because I had no clue because I don't listen to the radio anymore. So I'm like,
Ah,
what? I got to go check out these shows. So Sarah was very helpful. But
well, yeah, but I even threw in a couple of things that were not new, but it's just things that I listened to a lot this summer.
okay.
So, yeah, it's a little
Back
mixture.
on. If I'd have known that, then I would have definitely had some fun.
No, I put in some new stuff as well, but I did like there's also always like certain times of life or certain seasons, if you will, that like certain songs just kind of come out of the woodwork, and you find yourself listening to it more than you used to, or that you have in a long time. So, enjoy that.
Well, we want to say hello to Ryan, and thank you for being here. He's got a full load on his shoulders this weekend and tonight and today as well. Miss Emily, we thank you for being here. She goes, I'm a procrastinator, but slowly getting to me to do.
See, me too. Like me too. I could put up with all kinds of reasons not to get things done, but like things that I've been like, I've needed to make these runs and get rid of some stuff for a while, and it's kind of like, let's just do it. It's almost like I feel like I'm preparing like everything. I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird energy, but I'm liking it.
I agree. Hello, everyone from the bunker in Bon Air, Virginia. I watched the Netflix move about Storm Area 51, the train wreck. The whole thing was crazy. Well, we'll have to check that out. But,
I'm going to write that down because
write that down.
I'm kind of compiling my list for fall, winter of like what I'm going to, everybody's been watching stuff this summer that I'm going to be watching this fall and winter.
Well, it's falling right in suit with Clockwork. And that's this series, folks. We're chronologically listing and talking about conspiracy theories and discussions thereof that would be questionable through the last 120 years. And that's where we're at right now. Absolutely. With that being said, let's knock the dirt off of this last week, shall we? Let's get you guys caught up. What are we talking about tonight? This is part 2 and 2, and I did leave you. We left you. She left you with a cliffhanger last Sunday. Well, we're definitely going to talk about that because that has something to do with a little bit of Virginia, believe it or not. Yeah. So with that, we're talking about conspiracy theories of the Russian Revolution of 1917. A pivotal event in the 20th century history has been a fertile ground for various conspiracy theories aiming to explain its cause, financing, and key figures. So I think this is a great opportunity. We will not be having the doctor tonight. The doctor is having a personality crisis.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Hello, Michelle.
Michelle, welcome. Hello.
I did not bring any pictures along because I want this pure discussion face-to-face with all of you so you can be right there with us. So we are going to talk, and Rhonda's going to ask me questions, I'm sure. You guys ask some questions and provide it. If we see Nikki, we'll see, because Nikki feels like she was a part of that period.
Yeah, it's just like some past life stuff that points that direction. So that's pretty interesting.
That really added to the show last Sunday.
Yeah, it really did. So hopefully she'll pop in.
Indeed. So what was the big cliffhanger we left y'all with last Sunday? Well, as soon as I talk about this, Rob will be like, oh, I know what you're talking about. But of course, everybody's going to know what I'm talking about if you know your history, if you know these wonderful little knickknacks about our history and connections. Everything's about a connection a lot of times. So we talked about Grigory Rasputin. We talked about the Tsar Nicholas and his family. We talked about the Bolsheviks. We talked about what was the purpose that we thought maybe the Bolsheviks might have done this for, but we're really going to dive into that tonight. We're going to get to the really thick conspiracy versions, and we're all going to talk about that tonight. But let's go with that cliffhanger, shall we? What did I leave you guys with? What was that?
It was a good one, too. It was a good one.
It was. Do you all recall what cliffhanger we left you with last Sunday? We're going to give you just a minute, let you drop it in the chat. If not, and if you're just new to our chat, welcome. And while you're getting your thoughts together, allow me to say this. Let me allow me to say this. I like that. Let me allow me to say this.
Let me allow me to say this.
Yes. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 1 million. We thank you for being here.
Yes. And we know it's a tough time of year. It's like kids are going back to school and last minute vacation. So it's usually a little quieter the end of August, but
It really is.
but it's okay.
We appreciate every single person that's tuning in now and every single person that will catch the archive later. We thank you. We thank you. We want to acknowledge you, and we want you to know you are so thankful. We are so thankful, rather, of you being here.
Robert, you can't get Hennessy unless you are sharing.
There you go. Michelle, I was on vacation with my son and family last Sunday. I didn't have Wi-Fi. Well, Michelle, would you like us to catch you up? I mean, I just did that a little bit, but we can go a little bit more in depth. So we left you with the cliffhanger, Michelle. Do you know about what took place with the Russian Tsar, Tsar Nicholas, and his family during the Bolshevik Revolution? Well, we'll wait for that for a second. That's Bolshevik Revolution in 1917, where Russia became the USR, United Soviets. USSR. I don't like using the whole USSR. I just go United Soviets because that's who they are.
Touche. I must dance to a little tune.
He knows. He's doing his jig.
Uh,
Well, let us jump right into this because we don't want to waste any time because we got 45 minutes. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. So we did talk about Rasputin, Grigory Rasputin, who was the spiritual guide for the Tsar, not the religious guy. Now, we want everybody to acknowledge. Oh, yes, please. Okay, excellent. Yes, please to the explanation. Okay.
Catch her up.
Catch her up, right. So Rasputin, Grigoris Rasputin, I will go ahead and give a quickie on that one so everybody knows. Grigory Rasputin was born to the family of the peasants of the Siberian village of Pokrovsky, located in, oh my God, I can never say this, Tamarsky, Ulaz, and Tobolsk Governete. Governete, sounds Italian, Governete. Presented by the Yukovics district of Tyumen Oblast. He had a religious conversion experience after embarking on a pilgrim to a monastery in 1897. From there, we move on where he gets into the point of the family, that being the Tsar Nicholas and his family, on how some say, I cannot say he, we weren't there. Some say that he manipulated the Tsar's wife, Alexandria, into certain things to push the Tsar on his own, was Rasputin's direction, what he wanted to happen.
His agenda.
Which is one of the primary reasons why the Bolsheviks were rising up. They assassinated, yes, we do know that Grigory Rasputin was assassinated the year before the revolution. This is to control the situation, what took place. Then the Bolsheviks busted into the Russian Tsar's mansion home and took everyone captive and executed. And now we're at that point, aren't we?
Yes.
We're at that very point on where I left you at that cliffhanger.
One.
So, shall we begin?
Let's go.
Ooh, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Anastasia Nikolavande, Grand Duchess Anastasia Nikolavande, the youngest daughter of the Tsar Nicholas II and Tsarina Alexandria Fedorovna, was born on June 18th, 1901. She was part of the Romanov dynasty, which ruled Russia for 300 years. Did you know that?
300. So this is not like a new leader. This family had been in power for centuries.
Centuries. And you know what? This is something I didn't even know. So I got to learn some more history too, along with all of you, that I did not know that the power in Russia was 300 years. Holy macaroni for an individual country. I mean, that's almost longer than Rome, right?
Yeah.
The Tsars. Think about it. So Anastasia had three older sisters, Olga, Tatiana, and Maria. and a younger brother named Alexei, who had hemophilia. The family mostly avoided public views during World War I and growing political unrest in Russia, which caused rising dissatisfaction with their rule. In July 1918, during the Russian Revolution, Anastasia and her family were executed by the Bolsheviks in Yekaterinburg, Russia.
Very good.
Thank you. Because let me tell you, some of these can be interesting.
Yeah.
Even though I know a little bit of Russia, that's still Yekaterinburg. We'll go with that. Yes. This event ended the Romanov dynasty. After the deaths, rumors spread for decades that Anastasia might have survived. Several women claimed to be her, including Anna Anderson, but her claim was disputed and later disproven by DNA evidence. The mystery began to clear up in 1991, supposedly when a mass grave was found containing the remains of Nicholas II, Alexandra, and the three daughters. The remaining of Anastasia and Alexei were found later in 2007. DNA testing confirmed that there was remains of Anastasia and Alexei, finally resolving that the mystery of the Romanov family was at fate.
So
However,
they all passed away.
However, guess what I found out?
What?
That both the DNA for Alexei and Anastasia were inconclusive.
Oh.
Oh, did that put a twist into things?
Oh.
Yes, it has. Now, the interesting part is where did this whole road come into effect? Well, we're going to talk about Virginia in just a second and why Virginia plays a big role in this situation. However, the DNA conflict came from Virginia. Interesting, because the DNA supposedly in the two graves per said did not match, but they did match some of the hired help, if you will, of the family. So not only did that leave us one, but that leaves us two. Did little Alexei, with his hemophilia, did he make it out of Russia?
Interesting.
Interesting, is it? Yes. But now we're going to get a little deeper because now we're going to look at the conspiracy
That's a whole nother twist if you start going into what we talked about last week about the hemophilia potentially being vampirish.
Vampires, right? Because we did talk a little bit because that is where they got the little. That's why Rasputin really focused on him. Because we did talk about Rasputin's possibility of his foundation of being a Romanian gypsy.
Right.
Or thereof. And him wanting to help little Alexei. Because he wanted to help little Alexei, but he was also controlling Alexandria with her using Nicholas to do the biddings. So who did we meet, dude? Who did we meet? Jumping the gun, sir. Question mark. So here we go. This is the interesting part. We are going to jump right into that. Then we're going to come back to the conspiracy of the whole purpose of why we did this episode. So, Rhonda, shall we go to Anastasia?
Let's go.
Let's go down that rabbit hole, shall we? Here we go.
I don't think she was in that grave. That's my personal opinion.
I personally don't think so either. To be honest with you, I really don't. And there's reasonable theories. Shall we?
Let's go.
Let's go. The Anastasia conspiracy refers to the persistent rumors and claims of the following execution of the Russian imperial family in 1918, specifically that of the Grand Duchess Anastasia Nikolaevna. The youngest daughter had survived the assassination. These rumors, fueled by lack of concrete evidence of her death and appearance of several imposters, and the appearance of said her through the world for 20 years. Interesting. It didn't say imposters. It said sightings of her. And intriguing number 2. Let us continue. Captivated public imagination for decades. Ultimately, scientific analysis included DNA testing confirmed that Anastasia and her family were indeed murdered in 1918. However, in 2020, the University of Virginia declared that it's unprovable and what is the word I'm trying to find? Undocumented. That's not the word. Unliable. There we go. DNA extractions from that particular site of Alexandria and Alexia. So here we go. We leads in this to our mini tunnels. Here's more details on breaking it down. The execution and initial rumors. In July 1918, the Romanov family, including Anastasia, was executed by the revolutionaries of the Ekaterinburg during the Russian Revolution. The lack of immediate confirmation of their deaths, coupled with the chaotic political climate, led to widespread rumors that some of the family members, particularly Anastasia, had survived. Shall we? Any questions? Yeah, listen, any questions yet? Yes, it has to do with Dad. If you have any questions, you guys, jump out. I'm reading my notes. So, Rhonda, if you would, so we get a question, just say, hey, hold up.
Yeah, I will. Absolutely.
Okay. So let me keep rolling with my notes here. The imposters, several women came forward claiming to be Anastasia. The most famous was Anna Anderson, who appeared in Germany in 1920. While some initially believed her story, particularly due to the perceived physical resemblance and knowledgeable of the Romanov family details, many in the family doubted her claims. Now, that's very interesting because that's really going to come up in detail because I just said it. The resemblance. How many times, how many women resembled Anastasia? Oh, this is intriguing. Yes, yes. So, the scientific disproof. This is interesting. This is prior to 2020. 1991, a mass grave was discovered near the Ekaterinburg containing the remains of 9 individuals. While initially believed to be the entire family, further analysis revealed that 2 skeletons were missing. In 2007, those missing skeletons were found, supposedly, and DNA testing conclusively proved then that they belonged to the Romanov family, including Anastasia. This definitely disproved the Anastasia conspiracy, confirming that she was indeed killed along with her family, until disproven in 2020. This is interesting. Despite the scientific evidence, the story of Anastasia's survival has continued to fascinate the public, leading to books, movies, plays, and more scientific insight. This enduring interest is likely due to the romantic appeal of the Lost Princess syndrome and the Lost Princess and the mystery surrounding the Romanov fate. Now, here's one thing we're going to jump in there with. Don't do this to me. Yes, I'll accept that one. So, on the 17th of July, 1918, the former Tsar of Russia, Nicholas II, and his family were brutally murdered by the Bolshevik revolutionaries. But did one of them survive? Did 2 of them survive? In the 3rd episode of our podcast series, Conspiracies, Bob Alter speaks to Dr. Helen Rappaport about the conspiracy theory that Anastasia somehow lived and managed to escape to a new life abroad. Persistence believe in spite of scientific archaeological evidence. Now, I'm going to back up here because we're getting ready to go back to this. Now, one of the so-called individuals that might have been, or they said was, one of those who claimed to be Anastasia was found or located or came out of Peru. So supposedly she had fled to Peru somehow. She became a wife there, and she if I remember correctly, she lived a normal life with 3 kids there, ironically. No signs and never said what happened to the younger brother. But she was able to give a lot of information about the family as well. Now, how does that bring us to Virginia? Oh, Virginia, Mountain Mama. We're going to do this right here. Stage of, because I want to make sure we get this completely powered in there. Now we're talking. So, what has this got to do with Virginia? Well, here you go. In Charlottesville, Virginia, resided Anna Anderson, who claimed to be the Grand Duchess Anastasia Nikolova of Russia. She married J.E. Manahan and lived in Charlottesville until her death of 1984. Now, here's the interesting part. Rhonda can tell you, this is not bragging, just unfortunately, actually, that's not the word. Fortunately, my parents knew a lot of people around the world. And my father, being in the particular business he was and what he did, and my parents, how they traveled. And, this leads me to what else the hell they did before we were born. Anyway, let us continue. He was actually friends with the husband in Charlottesville because he used to come to Pleasance Hardware all the time. And my dad was his salesperson.
Okay.
So Mama Frances and Mama Fred spent a lot of time with this particular couple. Dinners, etc. This is intriguing. Did Kenny and I meet Kenny? Sorry, Robert. Did Robert and I meet this lady? Yes, we did. Do I remember? No. I was too young. But we did go there to their home and be a part of this situation. That's what intrigues me into this thing. I'm like, oh, look, I'm a part of this. Not really. I don't remember. But I love this intriguing phenomenon. Phenomenon. That's taking place. Let me continue. Let's see where we're. She was okay. Was not and testing. Okay, it was later revealed through DNA testing that Anna Anderson was not Anastasia. She was identified as. Now here's the interesting part. You remember where I said she was where they went and another part? She identified as Franziska Janskowski, a Polish factory worker who worked for the Russian family. Ooh, so she supposedly was a family, a lady who took care of the family.
Right.
Specifically the girls. Supposedly, that's how they're linking all this. Well, this lady was actually from Poland. So that was interesting too. So you had Poland. All this is going to mix in just a minute, you guys. I promise you this will really feed in. So the claim. Anna Anderson arrived in the United States in 1968 and married J.E. Manahan, an American history professor at Charlottesville, Virginia. She claimed to be Anastasia Romanov, the youngest daughter of Tsar Nicholas II, who is believed to have been murdered along with her family in 1918. The deception. Ooh, the deception. While some initially believed her story, scientific evidence, that's interesting. Scientific evidence is the way I should have said, included DNA testing, ultimately disproved her claim. 2 separate teams, one in Germany and another in Britain, used blood and tissue samples to conclusively show that Anna Anderson was not Anastasia. Now, Charlottesville connection. Anderson lived in Charlottesville with her husband until her death. Certified lister. Now, this is the interesting part. Charlottesville with her husband, J.E. Manahan, and her death certificate list her as Anastasia Manahan. It still states her name, even supposedly after, quote unquote, she was deemed not to be so. Why would that be?
What?
Yeah, look, these little. Hold on. Go ahead. Don't you love these little holes?
Well, I mean, I'm just kind of like, if they said the DNA just said she wasn't this person? How did they determine she was Francisco? Like how? Like you can DNA test me all day long and tell me that I'm not your sister, but you can't tell me what my name really is.
Exactly. Don't you find the little twist, which has left everything? Could have been Anastasia. Here's the other thing. On her death certificate, it stated Anastasia. Even after these supposedly tests. Do you see? There's more
Yeah,
wormholes.
that really almost does seem like,
It's a what the fuck.
yeah.
Yeah. So with this, we're going to go with this. It says, Anishima, according to the Civilopedia, her grave is located in University of Virginia Cemetery and Columbarium. So she is buried there or laid to rest there. Real Anastasia, here we go. The real Anastasia Romanoff was murdered with her family in 1918. I love how they keep repeating this. Her remains, along with those of her family, were found and identified through DNA testing. Okay, did y'all hear what I just said? This is the interesting part, too. Hey, what's up, Sean? Sean from Hill City Paranormal, Hill City podcast. And he's got another adventure coming out, too. They're doing a murder series now on YouTube. You got to check it out. Thank you, Renee. So, here we go. There's more. It just stated that her remains were found with the family. When we know for a fact her and Alexi's were not there.
They weren't there. They were found somewhere else.
At a later time.
Why would theirs be somewhere else?
Right? See?
That doesn't make sense either. I thought that before. I was like,
it really doesn't, does it? It makes zero sense.
yeah.
So there's a lot of loopholes and a lot of wormholes that they are failing. Now, I'm going to go up in here and I'm going to look at Anna Anderson. Okay.
Okay.
So this is an interesting part. Maybe we can get some. I know it's 7:37. We're going to get to the other stuff, but maybe we get some closure deduction on what I'm about to read. Anna Anderson, supposedly born as Franziska Snavskaska, sorry. And they actually have a date. They have 16 December 1896. Now, how do they know this? February 12th, 1984. See, now they're using her name back on us. But it says Anna Anderson. But her death certificate says Anastasia. Come on. We're not stupid. All right, let's continue. Who claimed to be the Grand Duchess of Anastasia of Russia. Anastasia, the youngest daughter of the last Tsar and Tsarissa of Russia. Nicholas II and Alexandria were murdered along with their siblings and their children, 17th of July, 1918. The Bolshevik Revolution, which we already cut through all this, Russia, but the location of her body was unknown until 2007. 2007, remember, said that?
Mm-hmm.
So they knew the bodies were before, but now they're saying that the 2007 they came up on another set. This is all, I think it's a hokey pokey bullshit. Actually, we're going to find out why in just a minute. In 1920, Anderson was institutionalized in a mental hospital after a suicide attempt in Berlin. At first, she went by the name Fräulein Ubankovac, German for Miss Unknown, as she refused to reveal her identity. Later, she used the name Teskavatsky and then Anderson. In March 1922, claims that Anderson was a Russian Grand Duchess received public attention. Most members of the Grand Duchess Anastasia's family and those who had known her, including court, Tudor, Puri Gillard, said Anderson was an imposter, but others were convinced she was Anastasia. In 1927, a private investigation funded by the Serrani's brother, Ernest Louis, Grand Duke of Hesse, identified Anderson as Franziska Schwaskaya, a Polish factory worker with a history of mental illness. After a lawsuit lasting many years, the German courts ruled that Anderson had failed to prove she was Anastasia. but through media coverage, her claims gained notoriety and truth. Huh? Notoriety and truth, but they're claiming that she wasn't. His brother jumped in and said she wasn't, but there was people a part of their court that said she was, but then they said that she wasn't. It still goes back and forth. Now,
And why would she, like, if it was her, I mean, it totally would make sense that she would lie about who she is.
Thank you, right?
Until she knew she was somewhere, still she knew she was safe.
You know what? That is exactly what it makes me think too. And I was looking at
I was crazy all day long.
All day long. All day. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Well, we thank you. Goodbye to you. Not until we meet again. Goodbye. All right. Sorry, we had a troll. Shall we continue? Yes. So there were so many loops, all the way up to this freaking date, you guys, all the way up to now. So check it out. Between 1920 and 1968, Anderson lived in Germany and the United States with various supporters and its nursing homes and sanatorias. That's what it says, sanatorias. Interesting. Including at least one asylum. She immigrated to the United States in 1968, shortly before the expiration of her visa. She married history professor Jack Monahan, who was later characterized as probably Charlottesville's best love eccentric.
Eccentric.
Okay, you hearing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Married to history professor Jack Monahan, who was later characterized as probably Charlottesville's most loved eccentric. So that's him and her. Is that her? Is that him? Interesting. Upon her death in 1984, Anderson's body was cremated, and her ashes were buried in the churchyard at what? Okay, now check this out, Rhonda. Upon her death in 1984, Anderson's body was cremated, and her ashes were buried in the churchyard at Castle Sion in Germany.
But I thought we just heard she was buried at UVA.
Yes. So again, I give you the WTF. This is getting deeper, y'all. There's some serious shit walking right now.
Oh my gosh.
After the collapse of communism in the Soviet Union, locations of the bodies of the Tsar, Tsarina, and all 5 of their children were revealed. Multiple laboratories in different countries confirmed that their identities through DNA testing. DNA tests on the lack of Anderson's hair and surviving medical samples of her tissues show that her DNA did not match the Romanov remains or that of the living relatives of the Romanovs that located at that grave. Now, I've got one more question. I'm going to ask that in a second. Instead, Anderson's mitochondrial DNA matched that of Carl Muscher. Most scientists, historians, and journalists who have discussed the case accept that Anderson and Schnauffers were the same person, while this was inconclusive in 2020. Now, here's my other question. Let me go back to what it said here.
Jeez, please.
Multiple laboratories in different countries confirm that. All right, after the collapse of the communist cities, the bodies were located. After? No. All this took place before the collapse of the USSR. Do you see how much information is all over the place about this?
Yeah.
We all knew about Anastasia and her family when we were doing history.
Right.
Because the USSR was still around. So how can they say that it was proven after the fact when we already proved it beforehand or when we thought was? Now, what they're all saying is some of the servants were assassinated with the family and put in the grave. They haven't proved that there wasn't.
Well, when you first mentioned that, way back in way early in the conversation, you said that some of the DNA matched that of servants. It's like, okay, how would you know that? But then they also went to like it wouldn't be the first noble family who had children by servants.
On that property, right? 300 fucking years, people.
Right.
Same family. That
Right.
means the same DNA, right?
Right.
So, what is the possibility that these were buried in another site where maybe the family was, but it was the family, but it was not Tsar's family?
This is true. This is
Come
very
on.
true.
I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at what we're looking
Yeah.
at. We're
Plus,
Tom.
whoa. And also back in, weren't they kidnapped and then, well, I mean, were they kidnapped and then assassinated, or were they just kidnapped on their own property? Because to me, kidnap means they were taken somewhere else.
Okay, that's another interesting part. Some reports say they were kidnapped and taken to another location. Other reports say the Bolsheviks broke into the home, kidnapped them, took them to the back part of the grounds, laid them in assassination, and was done there. I remember other reports last Sunday it said there was another location through the archway of the Briars of the place.
Yeah.
That's where they supposedly found the other grave site. But if this is a family grounds, how many family members have been buried on this?
Correct.
How can they say anything's conclusive when this is all bullshit?
Yeah.
We hear tunnel after tunnel, you guys. Think about this. Listen to what the reports say. They're all over the place. No conclusive evidence of any of this. We don't now we don't even know if the Tsar Nicholas and his family were assassinated where they said. Some say killed and some say assassinated. Were they escaping? Maybe they knew it was coming and they got killed. I mean, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion is this. They know that Rasputin was assassinated. So they had to know they were next or they were coming.
Yeah.
Hey, food for thought, folks. Food for thought.
It's just wild.
So we got 16 more minutes.
Like there is no replicated accounts of what happened.
None. No proof. Because what was documented supposedly came from staff that was there. Okay, that was the same staff that supposedly said that's not Anastasia.
Right.
Okay, so how's that possible if all the staff members were killed? Oh, did they leave that part out? Okay, so how are you going to prove that is Anastasia if there's supposedly ghost servants telling you what's going on and the Tsar's brother? However, here comes the good part. However, the Tsar's brother was actually part of the Bolsheviks. Yes, this is another proven fact because he was jealous of his brother. This is proven too. So what's the best way to keep his bloodline? To say that was not her. Damn. God deep.
Yeah.
So
that one is insanity.
Yes, and now it's going to get worse because now we're going to get into the real reasons, the conspiracies, and we're going to end this episode of Clockworks, and we're going to give you guys everything. Are you ready? Buckle in, sit down, get your 4-point seater because it's about to get happy. Are you ready?
Well, I do have one question.
Let's have
for it. The thought was that there was a chance that Anastasia and Alexei got out. Was he ever seen?
But the accounts never said that he was with the family. The accounts that also you will see if you do your research will find that, again, it stated just last week that Anastasia and Alexei were taken somewhere else. Now, I ask you this question. Why?
Right.
Maybe there were Bolshevik sympathizers? Keeping the blood going.
I just had another thought.
Go for it.
But I mean, it's really going. Maybe they technically belong to another family.
It'd be. It's interesting, isn't it?
Wow.
This whole thing just bumped up. He says, so you're saying there are decoys and the lady in Alaska could have been a decoy? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Well,
Yeah.
said Robert. Yes, we are. That's what I'm saying at this moment. What everything I've seen, everything I know, and it very well could be possible that the lady in Charlottesville was Anastasia.
You could, yeah.
They were decoys.
But that would not be uncommon for a family to know that they're next to be assassinated to put decoys in, and then they run hide before it happens.
Okay, this is a good point. But before we go on to the next one, I'm going to add something into this.
Okay.
Oh, and I am going to throw a twist in this whole motherfucking story.
Oh God, here we go.
Especially when it comes to Virginia. So she came to Virginia, right?
Right.
So who was in Virginia at the time that she was here? Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce you to Stanton, Virginia. We'd like to introduce you to a doctor by the name of Desjardins. Who's Desjardins connected directly to? Adolf Hitler. If she was supposedly in asylum, I think he would know it. If she came from Germany here, I do believe Desjardins would have been all over her like flies on shit. Just add a little something to that.
Dang.
She wasn't taken to Desjardins. She wasn't taken to any mental hospital.
Right.
Why wasn't she? If she was supposedly mentally.
Well, I feel like if she was mentally, they wouldn't have let her they wouldn't have let her immigrate here.
Bingo. Thank you. Look at us. That's why we are time detectives, folks.
I mean, that was another. I was like, if she was mentally ill, they wouldn't have let her immigrate here.
Nope. And if they did, and she did get in the
You would
board,
have gone straight to an institution of some sort.
which would have been Western State or Desjardins or St. Albans, because she was a high-profile individual. So all profiles went to where? St. Albans.
Right.
Boy, did we just throw some holes in that damn story. Gotta love it.
That is.
I'm going to use your word, wild.
Like, it'll never really fully be unraveled.
No.
And it seems like it was spun. It's definitely one of those that seems like it was spun to send you on a wild goose chase.
You know, that's funny you say that, because what I'm about to read to you is really going to really tear this whole thing up, because now we're getting ready to go down some serious rabbit holes. So buckle up, folks. Like I said, get your 4 point on. Awesome show tonight, y'all. Where are you going, Robert? We're just about, we're not,
It's
we're not
8
over
minutes.
here,
You can make it 8 more minutes. You had a heck of a lot of Hennessy.
You got 8 more minutes, and we got to finish this up, and we're going to finish this up. We're going down those rabbit holes. Buckle up, get your ropes, and let's go down. Here we go. Conspiracy theories of the Russian Revolution. The Russian Revolution of 1917, a pivotal event of 20th century history, has been a fertile ground of various conspiracy theories aiming to explain its cause, finances, and key figures. Here is a look of some of the prominent theories. Sorry, I'm having some coffee. Number one, you gotta love this: the Judea Bolshevism. This anti-domestic and anti-communist conspiracy theory possessed that Russian Revolution was a Jewish plot and that Jews controlled the Soviet Union and the international communist movement, often with the goal of destroying the Western civilization. Now, before we go any further, let's look at the Orthodox Church in Russia. Orthodox Church did rule the majority of Russia. It's proven. It's fact. Okay. The Orthodox of this is the same thing as the Ethiopian Jordan. They do the same rituals and all. So I can see this as a possibility because the Jews are using the Russians to take on the Germans. Possibility. But it also said a goal to destroy the Western civilization. That I don't understand, because the Jews knew that the Westerns were trying to help them, that we think of. Maybe they didn't. That's another good point. Huh, maybe they didn't. Okay. It emerged during the Russian Civil War in 1918 and 1922 and was heavily promoted by the anti-communist forces, particularly in the white movement propaganda. This is really interesting. While acknowledging the presence of Jewish individuals within the Bolshevik Party, notably Leon Trotsky, it's important to remember that such claims are rooted in the anti-Semitic stereotype and are widely discredited by historians. Okay, well, we just actually, if you ask me, we just discredited a lot of those historians, didn't we? We did that in 45 minutes, folks. Think about it. 2, the German Bolsheviks conspiracy. This theory claims that the Bolshevik Revolution was orchestrated and funded by the German High Command with a goal of weakening Russia and forcing it out of World War I. Allegations include that Lenin and Trotsky were German agents and that the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk was a betrayal of the Russian people. While there is evidence suggesting that Germany provided some of the support to the Bolsheviks in the hopes of destabilizing Russia's war effort, the idea of a fully orchestrated German Bolshevik conspiracy is contradictory and a lack of conclusive proof. Okay, that's interesting. All right, your next point. We're going with the Western conspiracy. Which Western conspiracy? Following the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, another conspiracy theory emerged, suggesting that the Bolsheviks' revolution was a result of a complex plot by the evil forces aimed at destroying Russia. According to Institute Slavsky Pojavos Academic Nuik. I have no idea what that means, but the theory, often fueled by confusion and a desire to find external explanations for a collapse of a superpower, suggested that the United States and internal agents of Western influence were behind the Soviet demise. What has that got to do with Russia?
Right.
Despise the Soviet Union. Okay, you know what? Knowing our CIA, yeah, I'm going to get in trouble with it. Knowing our CIA, knowing our NSI, and knowing that the other black ops and governments of this damn country, could it be possible? Oh yeah, they'll sabotage that if they feel if it's in a threat to their homeland security.
Yep.
Ha.
Yep.
Now it is proven fact that Reagan and oh my God, hold on. Premier, no, it wasn't Chekhov. What, the president? Why am I forgetting his name? Dude had Africa as a birthmark on his head. Oh, why am I forgetting his name? Gorbachev. Thank you.
Thank you.
Woman got it. Now, it's proven fact that Reagan and Gorbachev spoke a lot.
Yeah.
They were actually friends. So this is intriguing. So let's.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's look at some of the other things. Now, this is the interesting part, and we can end this up here. Now, remember we were talking about getting people out, codes, changing things. Maybe there was decoys, like Robert said. Maybe this. What is the one major group of this planet, of this history? Hey, Kev.
Hey, Kev.
Of the history of this planet that could do this, and it's been doing it for thousands of years. Who could that have been? Well, let's go down that hole, shall we?
Let's go.
Number 4, Masonic conspiracy theory. These theories are often intertwined with the anti-Semitic claims, suggesting that secret societies like the Freemasons were working in conjunction with the Jewish groups to orchestrate the revolution and achieve global domination. Where have we heard this before?
Right.
These claims gained prominence with the spread of fabricated documents, the Protocol of Elders of Zion, which perpetrated to reveal a secret Jewish and Masonic plan for the world domination. Well, that's really interesting. So, it's crucial to the knowledge that these conspiracy theories are not supported by historian census. Okay. While the Russian Revolution was a complex event with multiple contributing factors, these theories are often resorted as oversimplifications, scope gating, and the exploitation of anxieties to gain traction. Wow. I mean, look at that. We ended that right at 8 o'clock. Mwah. So, really, you guys, you heard the facts. Go back and listen to last week's archive if you did not. Listen to this show again. Make your own judgment. You be your own investigator. I like this because it feels like Rhonda and I are becoming the time investigators. We are becoming time detectives in this series, and I love this. Ooh, that's what we'll be called from this series. We are the time detectives of clockwork.
Time detector.
Time detectives, yes. Investigators of the world timeline.
Interesting.
Indeed. So, quantum leap. Touche, dear. Touche. No, please no. You're perfectly fine. You helped us on the Gorbachev thing.
Yes, you did.
So,
Like, duh.
where were we? So, travelers and those like, thank you so much. We want you to hang out and hang with us and get through this. Now, we're going to end Clockwork series tonight for a little while. We don't want to get you burned out, but we do want to get back to having guests, and we're going to mix it up a little bit so you don't get burned out. We're going to keep this going. Hey, what's up, Vet?
Hey, Vet
girl. No, she got to. We got it. Which Vet is that? Which girl is it? No, I'll talk to you later about that. So we're going to in it. We may even take a break next Sunday to make a spread and get back into our guests, and then we'll set back into Clockwork, letting you know which the next is, because we're going to start getting deeper into the mid 1900s, and we're moving into the 1920s, which y'all know what that was, right? The beginning of even more chaotic crap. And we're really getting deep, really bad.
Yep.
So, travelers and those like, stay tuned, watch for our episodes. Next Sunday, we are going to be taking a break. I got to finish up my movie. And this will give Rhonda a little break, unless she wants to take her show for herself.
No, that's good. I'm good. I'm always good for a break.
We're taking a break next Sunday. We're going to recalculate. We're going to get our guests together. Soon we are going to have our good friends, Saint Germain.
Yay!
Them, hopefully get them on finally.
Yeah.
We got some other amazing guests that'll be joining us. And then we'll be returning back to Clockwork and move into the 1920s.
Awesome. Well, all right, y'all. Me and Howard are getting ready to go here, but don't forget, we'll be back in 1 hour.
1 hour, right?
1 hour.
And I'm going to say this one more time. You guys, we thank you. It doesn't matter if it's one of you or a million of you. You all matter. And every time you communicate to us right here in chat or in email, whichever, we appreciate that, and we love the responses. Also, go down there. See that thing that's going down, that banner? You can contact us right there. You can go to the email. You can go to one of the sites. You can send a message if you want to see something on the show. If there's somebody you want to see on the guest, if you want to be a guest, let us know. Drop us an email or go right to the R.I.F.T Nation Network fan page on Facebook. Drop us a message there. We'd love to hear from you. We look forward to seeing you, and we say again, thank you. Thank you so much.
Even if you just pop in at the end, we're glad you're here.
Always and forever. And on that note, I'm going to say it one more time. May virtue be yours.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Yeah, right, in an hour. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go.